Hello and welcome to this episode of Focus On. I'm Akin Obakeye. In this episode, we'll look at the African gaming industry, putting the spotlight on what stakeholders in the industry are doing to foster growth with a build-up to the maiden edition of the African Gaming Expo. The African gaming market has witnessed tremendous transformation with the advent of technology. No doubt, with this growth comes challenges peculiar with the industry. According to a Dutch research firm, Newzoo, the African gaming industry is looking buoyant and may be headed to a $1 billion market in 2024, leveraging on the growing population on the continent. The adoption of smartphones has also boosted Africa's gaming prospects, prompting stakeholders to look at growing the numbers and creating a niche market.
We cannot just be a consumer of products or services. So we also have to meet the global provider halfway. I'll give you an example. On software platform, there could be a middleware and there could be a local product. I mean, especially when you develop a product that is Africa in nature, Africa in psychology. So you can partner with European providers and combine your product to deliver service either to the Africans or to the Europeans, North American or the Asians. So that's the way we can leverage on the advantage and the potential of the gaming sector with its growth. Homegrown operators were the first in the sector. But what is lacking is homegrown platforms. So they have to subscribe to international platform. They have to pay a monthly subscription and the likes. So, but what we have been doing in Lagos State is to make sure that we train our people in the authority and also to support our technology provider in our sector through grants and sponsorship.
Creating such a market means Africa must be ready to meet the global gaming demand. The ability of the young population to utilize the opportunities in digital technology, internet, and smartphone penetration is also pivotal.
Internet penetration, the increase in the availability of mobile phones, as well as the youthful population in Africa, as well as also the large population, has increased the need for online gambling. It has also encouraged foreign operators to play in this industry where we are today.
We are one of the front runner in the fintech sector, especially payment and the likes. And you also, if you want to come back home to Nigeria, and if you can remember specifically in Lagos State, and that's why I say there has to be collaboration and partnership between African service provider, platform provider with other global solution provider. If you look at Monopoly at some point in Lagos State was localized. So in those days, you have Mayfair, Trafalgar Square. So we have a monopoly in Lagos now that has Lagos Street. When you look at social sports like golf and some other sports, among those sports, golf is seen as an elitist. But as time goes on, with information, with access to infrastructure, people blend, develop interest. So that's the time and access to information and access to infrastructure will take care of that. Going back to what you asked me before, in Lagos State now, we have some young, very, very young game developers. And even their games now are now being played beyond African continent. And they are one of those people that we want to encourage to develop games so they can even earn foreign exchange.
One major interest for stakeholders is the right enabling environment. What efforts are in place to address this, and how will the maiden edition of the African Gaming Expo put the spotlight on regulations?
African regulators are trying as much as possible, I can say at the speed of light, to catch up with international best practices. And this conference is very important for all these regulators to each other and dialogue, share experiences, knowledge, so that they can be at par. And also there will be an opportunity for reciprocity enforcement. So when a company is running, for example, is licensed in South Africa and either licensed in Nigeria or unlicensed in Nigeria, when there is abuse of business, when they abuse the process, we can use each other, meaning those regulators, to enforce on that particular operators. This expo is mostly, and that's why we're supporting it, it's mostly concentrated on, or majorly focused on, the business aspect of it. We want Africans to see the ecosystem, to understand the business itself, investment banker, venture capitalists, game developers, regulators, government, tax regulators. They won't need to be able to understand the total ecosystem and end-to-end value chain, so they can develop policy, regulations, opportunity for African manufacturers in the plant or equipment manufacturing to partner with global manufacturers on something like equipment like gaming machine, slot machine, software, so they can take advantage of the situation.
The African Gaming Expo was created to bring together different stakeholders in the gaming industry. So contrary to the belief that the gaming industry is mostly saturated by gaming operators, we have major key players in the industry. We have software providers, we have game providers, we have HOTS providers, as well as we have payment gateway companies that facilitate both deposits and withdrawals from online gaming platforms. So the idea of AGE is to bring together these key stakeholders and see how we can synergize, discuss salient issues that we're facing in the industry, and move on the way forward. At the end of the African Gaming Expo, we're going to issue out and publish a white label paper based on what was discussed at the expo, based on the solutions that were preferred, and as well as suggestions and recommendations from industry leaders that will be at the expo. It will be published on the website, as well as time frames that were given in the course of the conference. So what we have done is to bring together different regulators across Africa. So we have the CEO of the Gambling Authority of Botswana. He will be present. We have a representative from the Gaming Commission of Ghana. We have representatives from the National Gambling Board of South Africa, as well as we've reached out to also African regulators like Kenya and Tanzania.
The event is set to hold at the Eco Convention Center in the middle of March this year.
The 4-day pose is to present an impactful event that offers value to those who attend the event. So we're going to have participants from the gaming industry across board. So we'll have investors, we'll have foreign operators, as well as local operators from Nigeria and across Africa as well. We're going to have payments providers, and we're going to have software providers, game providers, host providers, and all key players in the industry. So it offers you an opportunity to network and as well gain from industry experts who will be speaking on salient issues that affect us in the industry. We intend to organize this expo annually. So next year we'll be focusing on different issues that will arise in the industry at the time. Now the plan is to profess solutions and see how we can resolve them in the course of the year. And of course, 2024 will offer new opportunities for new entrants. And the Nigerian gaming industry, as well as the African gaming industry, is big enough for different stakeholders to thrive. It offers you opportunity to grow and opportunities for your business to thrive. Let's look at the advent of 5G. In Nigeria now, we have 5G. And in other African countries, they're also introducing 5G, like the Francophone countries. So we are sure that by this time next year, we're talking a very massive market. You can visit African Gaming Expo Age, www.agelagos.com, to register as a participant for the event.
With plans to address some of the challenges facing industry players, the organizers believe the African Gaming Expo will provide a platform for key stakeholders to tap into the investment opportunities in Africa. Well, that's all we can take on this episode of Focus On. Until next time, I'm Akin Obakeye. Bye for now.